This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Give me a moment. Okay, so like day before yesterday, what we were discussing, we were what are the WCM modes and like the basic of AEM, the consoles and other things. So like today, in the day two, we left with like a basic component and template creation. Okay, so we'll create that thing in in the classic UI first, and then we'll see that what are the Sling, okay, how Sling works in AEM. So basically, we will focus more on the Sling, that what is the Sling, how Sling works, and how it resolve the resources in AEM. Okay, so let's first see that how we can create a very basic structure of our website. Okay, then how Sling actually works. So let me just go to this CRXT Elite. Okay, so this is your development environment which comes with like AEM software. So here, so there are two ways, like either you can create your project structure directly in the CRXDE or you can create your project in Eclipse. Okay, so we'll see both the ways. So first way is that you can create here itself in CRXD Lite. So how to open the CRXD Lite from the welcome screen. Okay, so this will be for the timing. I opened my 6.3 instance for today and tomorrow. Okay, so here you will see CRXD Lite. Okay, just click on it. So in the apps folder, we'll be creating our, as I mentioned earlier, that this is the place where we create our component and templates. Okay, so the first thing is that we have to create one structure here. So just right click, create, and create some structure like create folder. So the website name which you want to give. Okay, for the time being, if I want to give, I can give any name like hero site, something like this. Okay, just save it, and frequently you have to click on the save all button. Okay, so it means that you are saving your node structure, whatever the folders you are creating in the CRX. Okay, then right click again and create two more folders here. One is the components and second one is templates. Okay, so there are some more folders like source, install, and like config. So for the timing, I'm not creating those. We are just dealing with these two things. Okay, we'll be creating simple page, which will be bind to one template, and template will be having one page component. Okay, so there are two type of components in like AEM. One is the global component. When I say global, so that component it is attached to my template. Okay, we'll see. Okay, so and the other global components are like that is the page component, sorry, and the global components are like reusable components like header, footer, or the content area components. Those are the global components. Okay, so for every template, it would be bind to some page component where you will be defining your authoring environment. Okay, when I say authoring environment, that sidekick, paragraph system, and like design related information include the client library. All these things you will be doing in the page component that will be attached to my template. Okay, and using the template, I will be creating a page. So now I'm creating one more folder inside my components. That is the page component. That is a page folder. The name can be anything for this folder name, but for these two things, components and templates, the name should be this only, components and templates. Okay, so now we have created a one very basic structure. So firstly, I'm creating one component, page component. So how to create? Just right click and create component here. So give any label. Okay, so label will be appearing whatever the name you want to store in CRX. So here I am typing like hero base component. And try to give different names for label and title. So this will be the JCR title. We'll see that this is an optional field, like you can provide the description here, anything. Okay, super type. I'm not giving any super type. This is only for the inheritance purpose. For the time being, I'm just leaving it, and the group as well. I'm not providing any group and super type. Just click next. So these two things we'll be discussing when we'll be creating the like global components. When I say global, like navigations or any banner and any other component. Okay, and ignore these things as well as of now. For my page component, I'm just providing two information, label and title. Just click next and press OK. Just save all. So in AEM, whenever you create any component, it will be rendering one default script, okay, with the name of your component like .jsp. Okay, so you will see here that some JSP have been written. So do one thing, just remove this one and write something here like hero something base component. Okay, just write any string here. Okay, so this is my component, okay, which have been created. And JCR title you can see here, JCR colon title hero base component description. So whatever properties you will be giving at the time of creation of component would be rendering here. And this is the one file with the name of my component called JSP. Okay, so this is the like JSP file. We can rename it to HTML file as well if we are like we'll see that slightly what is the slightly, but initially we are keeping this as GSP only, the default rendering script. Okay, so now we have created one page component. So let's create one template. So how to create template? Just right click, create, and create template. Okay, so again you can provide any label here. I'm providing like hero based template. Okay, then this is the important thing, that what is the resource type and what is the ranking. Okay, so resource type, while creating a template, as I mentioned, that we need some resources. Okay, template always bind to one global, one page component. Okay, not global, one page component, it would be binding. Okay, so we have to provide the path of my page component here while creating the template. Okay, so you can just close it, cancel it, go to your components page and take this path. Okay, so this is the path of my page component. Just copy it, go back to template, again create template, so it will be preserving the values whatever before canceling. Okay, so now in resource type we have to provide this path, control V. Okay, so it's better to give the relative path, not absolute. So you can remove this slash app section. Okay, and this is the ranking. Okay, so ranking is important. So what is ranking? I will show you that what is the benefit of this ranking. For the timing, I'm giving only one. Okay, just click next. Okay, and then allowed path. Okay, I'm giving here slash content. I will be showing you two things, that what is the ranking and what is allowed path. Okay, for the timing, I just given here slash content. Click next. Okay, ignore allowed parent, allowed children, and press OK. Now just save it. Okay, so now we have created one template. Okay, one component, page component. Now we are ready to make our site page. Okay, so how to create the page? Again, just go to your site admin. Either you can type here site admin, or from your welcome screen you can press these websites. Okay, both are same. So now I want to create a new website. Okay, so how to create? You just click on websites node, go to new, and then page. Okay, so now I'm just checking where is my template here. So just type something here, your page name. I'm typing here like hero site something. Okay, and select your template. Your template is here, hero based template. Okay, now your template is coming, hero based template. Okay, so the ranking, first we'll see that what is the ranking. So if you see while creating the template, okay, we provided the ranking 1. Okay, but for my other templates as well, I provided the ranking 1. Okay, so ranking means that where your template would be coming. Okay, so there might be the cases that on your website you are having hundreds of templates which are appearing while creating any page. So it's better to like give a better ranking. Okay, so here I have given 1, but for other templates as well I provided 1. So that's why like it based on the modified date. Okay, the earlier one which you created would be appearing first. Okay, so suppose there are 100 templates which you have which are present in your AEM. Okay, and like if you provide here 100, okay, if I change it to 100, then it should come at the end. Okay, like if I 100 and just save it, just refresh it first. Anyhow, it is not getting saved, but it should save here from I have to restart. Let it be. Okay, so that is the ranking means that the whatever high ranking you give, your template would be appearing earlier. Okay, if you give 50 or 100 and there are 200 templates, then it will be coming at the 100 place. Okay, so it's better if you can give provide the 1. Okay, now just select your template, hero based template. We have created this one, and just click on create. Okay, so now you see here while creating a page we are selecting a template, correct? And while creating a template, if you remember, like when I create a template I have to provide a path of component. So just to understand this linking, that while creating a page we need one template, while creating a template we need one component, base component. Okay, and observe one more thing here, like this is a template, okay, which we created, and it created one JCR content node. Okay, where and the type of my template is CQ colon page content. Okay, and it is residing the path of my base component. Okay, hero site components page hero base component. Okay, so now what will happen when you create a page, okay, using the template, so this node JCR content node will be copied to that page. Okay, so we'll see that how to create, how it will be like reflecting that thing. So just click on create. So now you see here one page got created. Just double click on it. So now it is rendering something, hero based component. So now you just see that something is rendering on your page. Okay, now just go back to your content. Okay, just close it apps. open the content folder. Okay, so this is the place where all of your site data, okay, will be storing, because this is my CRX. Okay, whatever page you created here, okay, so it will be reflecting the same thing in my CRXD. Okay, just refresh it. Now go to the end. You will see one node got created, hero site. Okay, one more thing, like if you go here, you see the caps thing like hero site. Okay, and in CRXD Lite it is storing with the smaller one. Why? Because when you created your page, okay, you given two things. Okay, one is title and one is name. So title would be appearing whenever you create a page on your page. Okay, so if you hover, then you will see that hero site would be coming, but the name would be the node name. What name it will be storing in CRX. Okay, so this is the title hero site, but in CRXDE Lite it would be storing with the name. Okay, so we provided the smaller one, hero site. So now see, I was talking about this node. So this is one rule of any AEM page, that every AEM page would be having one JCR colon content node. Okay, every page. If you create, like if I go to the vdetail site or geometric site which comes with AEM, you will notice this thing, that you will see everywhere JCR content. This is my EN page, so JCR content node will always be there. This is my man page, so for every page JCR content node would be there. Okay, so and JCR content node type would be page content, CQ page content here. So what happens at when you create a page, this node JCR content node got copies from content one. Okay, whatever the template you created, it will be copying from there. Let me just open that one. So I was showing you about this template JCR content node. Okay, CQ page content. So what happens when you create a page using some template here? Okay, using some template, this node JCR content node get copies under the page. Okay, JCR content node will get copy automatically under that page here. Okay, so now that JCR content node get copied, and all other information like JCR title of the page would be appending. Okay, so now we've seen that how to create a simple page and how it is binding those things. Okay, so we have now other thing is we skip that allowed path. Okay, so what is the allowed path? So now see, whenever we create a template, we have to provide the allowed paths. Okay, so what does it mean? Allowed path means that where you can create your template. Okay, like whenever you are creating a page, where should your template be visible? Okay, right now what is happening, my template is visible on this node slash content. Okay, when I click on website, all the this is my title, but actual name is content. Okay, same with this one, hero site. Title is hero site, but it is storing as slash content slash hero site. Correct. Okay, so now if I click on this page, okay, and try to create something like new page under that, okay, so you should not be get your template here. Why your template is not coming? Because you only provided slash content as allowed path. Okay, so your template would be visible here, you see slash content. Okay, so your template would only be visible to this node slash content, not to this. Okay, so that's why when I click on website slash content, try to create a new page, my here you can see my template. This is my template, hero based template is appearing. Okay, when I try to create a page under my hero site page, another sub page. Okay, so that is not appearing. Hero template is not appearing here. So now there might be the chances and that we need our template to the sub pages as well. So how to do that? Okay, so you can change this allowed path. Okay, so there is one generic like allowed path that you can provide, one regular expression. So what it will do, it will just accept, it will be showing your template inside the content. Okay, so if I write this, click OK, save all, and refresh this page, and now just click hero site and click new page. So now your template is appearing. Okay, so in live site what happens that like I created more templates, so that's why it is appearing. But what should happen that we can provide, like we can allow path to some specific folders. Okay, like suppose I created one page here, en, okay, English, something like this. Using my hero based template, so I can provide this path as well to some different template slash hero site slash en or something like that. Okay, so normally if you want your template to be visible to all of your content, to all of your pages, you can use expression, or if you want to display it for some different specific pages, you can provide the expression here, like slash content slash en. Okay, so I have mentioned the same thing in this document, so you can refer that how to like here if you see template creation, this one allowed path to show the template on page creation can be controlled. Okay, either slash content abc, or this is for all the pages under slash content. Okay, so you can put anything based on your requirement. Okay, ranking we have discussed, and these are two things, allowed parents and allowed children. So we'll be talking more about these two things when we'll be creating some global components. Okay, so now I have provided one sample, but you can go through it. We will be talking about when we'll be discussing like those global components. Okay, so now see one thing before going to that Sling one. In my component, okay, right now on my page, okay, this is my page. I cannot see any sidekick. Okay, and I am not able to see any placeholder where I can drag and drop the component. Okay, so how to enable the sidekick and how to enable the paragraph system. So in AEM authoring pages, we are having two things. Okay, one is the floating widget, that is sidekick, from where I can like drag and drop the components, and second one is the placeholder where I will be dragging the components. Okay, so there are a way to include those two things in AEM classic UI. So you just go to open your page component. Okay, so here, as I mentioned, that base component will be using for these three things. Like first thing is to invoke the sidekick authoring environment. Okay, second, your paragraph system where you will be dragging and dropping the component, and third one to include the libraries. When I say libraries, other designs, trained libraries. Okay, so normally these things we do in our page component. Okay, so let me just quickly go to some component which I already created. Okay, so let me copy this thing. So this is my hero base component.jsp. I'm including here three lines. Okay, so just think about it. I'm ignoring this one. Okay, save it. First refresh it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so one sidekick is getting appeared. Okay, we'll see that what how it is appearing. So now you see here I included two lines. One is global.jsp. Okay, so this is an JSP syntax to include the files. Okay, like this is include file and libs foundation global.jsp. We'll see that what is this global.jsp. And second one is this file init.jsp. Okay, I mentioned earlier that in the libs we will be having all of our libraries. Okay, so using this script, okay, this is invoking this sidekick. The functionality of this sidekick, okay, have been written under this location. Okay, if you go to this location, okay, just copy this and hit in the search bar. Okay, here you will see init.jsp. So the sidekick functionality is written here. Okay, we don't need to bother about it because that is an implementation of that sidekick. They are using different things like how it will be rendering. So we have to just call this JSP in our page component so that that component can be rendered. We did the same thing, like this is one tag CQ colon include to include the scripts. Okay, if I remove this line, let's see what happens. Okay, so like these are the AEM tags, okay, tag libraries CQ. Okay, because this is my JSP. If I remove this one and try to, sometime it throws error, sometime it doesn't. It will be throwing if I go to like WCM mode disabled. Okay, it is not throwing, but might be the cache issue. So what is happening here? These are the tag libraries. Okay, CQ colon include. My JSP is not aware about this CQ. That what is the CQ? Normally JSP. Okay, so to if you go to this location global.jsp, you will see one thing. Let's go to this location. Libs foundation global.jsp. So here you see various tag libraries are getting included in this global.jsp. Okay, so it knows that what CQ means. Okay, so these are the tag libraries that we create some tag libraries in JSP. If you are aware, or if you are not, that you just consider that there are some definitions of some prefixes like CQ. So it is bind to some URI which is having some definition or implementation of those CQ tags. Okay, so to include these tags like CQ colon include, C colon import, we need to include this global.jsp file. Okay, all the definition of tag libraries are present under global.jsp. So that is the reason we included one global.jsp file, and then we use this syntax CQ colon include script equals to invoke my sidekick. Okay, if I you see here, it will be invoking one sidekick. Okay, right now it is blank. We'll see that how to fill this one. The second thing is we need one paragraph system where I can drag and drop the components. First see that how to fill this one. Okay, so I set three modes. One is the edit mode, second one is preview, and third one is design. Okay, so to make components which are out of box components comes with AEM to fill with this sidekick. Okay, we have to go to the design mode. Okay, So there was two benefits of design mode. One is to fill the components in Sidekick, and second one is the like whenever we are having one design dialogues associated with our components, we'll see those things later. Okay, so the first I'm going to design mode. Okay, so to include the components, definitely we need one paragraph system to be present on my page. Right now, if I go to design mode, nothing is there because there is no paragraph system. So that's why I need one paragraph system to be enabled on my page. Okay, so that I can fill this sidekick. That is a very first step. Okay, if I am not having any paragraph system, I cannot fill this sidekick with the out of box component. So let's go back to CX Delight. Just paste one more line here. Okay, so I will just copy this. Control V. Okay, so again I'm including one resource type here. What we are doing, so this is one component, library component, or you can say out of box component parses. Okay, which we are including in our script using CQ include, and we are giving resource type. Okay, because we are including some component. If we need to include one script, then simply we write script. Okay, sidekick is getting invoked by that JSP, so that's why we have written script. But if we need to include some components, we need to write here resource type. Path equals to par, we'll see what is it. For the time being, you just ignore it. You just think that we have invoked one component, and this is the way to invoke the components in AEM. Okay, and this is the path where all of your library components are present. Okay, just go to this path, you will see various components are there. Okay, components like these many out of box components are there, like list, iparses, image, chart, carousel, breadcrumb. Many components would be there. So these components are JSP components. Okay, we'll see that where we are having the sightly components. So in the section libs, we have one more folder WCM. Here you will see many of the like sightly components would be present. Only difference would be WCM. Okay.
Vipin, what is the difference between passes and iPasses component?
Yeah, yes. Parses, whenever we use parses, okay, so that is bind to a particular template, okay, particular page. Okay, so what happens when we drag components in the parses, it would be specific to the template, it would be specific to that page. When I say template, specific to that page. But when I use iparses, what happens that if you are using the same iparses node structure with the different templates, okay, and whenever you drag the component in some parent page, it would be reflecting in the child pages as well. Okay, so that is not specific to pages, that would be depend on hierarchy. If you are following the same hierarchy on your child pages, like if I'm using the same statement and same path, okay, suppose this is my paragraph or ipar, I'm using the same path, okay, with different templates. Right now I'm using same component, I created only one template, but there might be the scenarios that you create multiple templates, okay, and with the same path. Then if you change the iparses, or if you drag some component in your iparses on some different page, so it would be reflecting on some other pages as well. We'll see that real-time scenario or real-time usage of that iparses, because what happens in the website when we create any header footer component, we place those header footer in the iparses. So the benefit of iparse is that you don't need to author the components on multiple pages. Okay, we'll see that thing. Okay. So now I just included one parses here. Let me just, you can give any name here. For the timing, I have given far. Okay, we'll see that what is the benefit of this variable. Okay, just refresh the page again. Okay, so you will see one placeholder is coming. That is my paragraph component. Okay, just now I want to fill this sidekick with some components. How to fill? Just go to design mode. Okay, now you see one bar is coming. Design of bar edit. Just click on edit. Okay, so you will see one dialog will appear here. Allowed components. So these are the out of box components and the components groups. So these are the groups. Okay, we'll talk about the groups when we create global. So right now I am just selecting general. Okay, and just click OK and go back to your edit mode. How to go back to edit mode? Just click on this down arrow. Okay, so now you see your sidekick is filled by some components here. Okay, so these are the out of box component normally in general section. Okay, so like if I want to make use of simple thing I'm testing, I'm putting one text component. Okay, just drag this text component in this paragraph system. Okay, so similar way we'll be creating our groups. Okay, this is out of box general. We can create our own groups here like general or like hero site. So what is this group? If you remember, while creating the components we encountered one group. Okay, so like if I go to page and create a new component, here is one group. Okay, so it means that if you that in which group you want to place your component in sidekick or in authoring environment. Okay, so there is one component browser we call in touch UI, and the replacement of that is a replacement of sidekick, that is component browser. We'll see that what is component browser. Okay, so now we are not creating any global component. I'm just dragging one out of box text component on my paragraph. Okay, so let's just change something here. Okay, so this is one component, very simple. The same other components you can just try it out. These are the out of box components. Okay, so now we'll focus on Sling, that how my text or how my component or like these things are getting rendered. Okay, let me just go to disabled mode, just refresh it. Fine. Okay, before going to that, just go again with this structure slash content slash hero site. Go back to your content node, refresh it, and then hero site. Okay, we created one EN page. Okay, but now we are just putting everything on hero site page. So go to the JCR content of hero site. Now you see one par. Okay, so this is the this is the name of your paragraph system. Now you will be dragging and dropping all the components inside this path, inside this paragraph system. So what this statement do? This will be creating a node of type par. Okay, and in this par you will see one text component is there because we dragged one text component. If you drag some different components, it would be creating a different node for that. Okay, for that component. So now we'll see that and whatever the values you are providing or like here in this text component we given this hello world. Okay, so definitely this value should save in my crx. So where this value will save? So whatever component you have dragged in the paragraph system, you drag text component and you provided one hello world value. So it will be creating that node, component node inside the paragraph system, and inside that component, it will be storing that value. Okay, like this is a default component, out of box component, and it is saving that value with the name of text. Okay, so here you see text and the resource type, that what is my component. It is this text component default, like whatever the library component, foundation component text. Okay, so now if you see this okay, this URL, so how this text is getting rendered, like I hit hero site.html, something is getting rendered on my page. Okay, so how does my AEM knows that what should be rendered? Okay, because I'm hitting only simple page here, hero site.html. So Apache Slings comes in the picture in those scenario. Okay, that it see the request, it maps the request to actual content internally. Okay, we don't have to do anything, but we need to understand the concept of Apache Sling. Okay, so let me just go to D3 one, which we will be talking. Okay, so I assume that so Priya, anyone aware about like what is the REST? Because everywhere we will see that Sling is based on REST. So what is REST? Any
That is
idea?
like a URL which is exposed from anywhere we can access that.
Okay, okay, that's a bit true. Okay, so we'll see that what is REST? REST stands for Representational State Transfer Protocol. Okay, so in traditional application, what happens that client send a request and web server send a response. Okay, so like it send a response in form of HTML. Okay, which we renders on which browser renders. We don't render, that browser renders on the page. Correct. Okay, and that is form of some resource. Okay, so that resource can be HTML, that resource can be anything, image. Okay, in the traditional, but with the introduction of REST principle, these resources they have predefined that if you want the JSON, or if you want the XML, or if you want the HTML. Okay, in REST these resources are clearly defined. Okay, so if you see that if you want XML or JSON format, okay, so like you in traditional you can do using the servlets. Okay, in servlets you can define do get and do post methods. Okay, and you can define that what kind of response you want to set, what you want to give it back to your browser page. Okay, but that thing we can easily do, that things like can be managed using the REST API very easily. Okay, so if you see a response, so it sends the representation of resource. Okay, like representation of resource, when I say like HTML, XML, or JSON, it sends back the like representation of your state or representation of your resource. Okay, so that is like a glimpse of like what is the REST. Okay, so now if you see, and there are many implementation of REST like Jersey and Spring, all are the REST based, where you just like fetch, suppose you hit this one URL, so this would be mapped to some methods there, and they would be sending back some JSON or some XML. So normally we use the REST where we want some uh, like we want to access some JSON or some third-party things from some different geography or from some different platform. We call some REST calls. Okay, REST-based calls from where we are just invoking some JSON and rendering in our environment. Okay, so like now, and these are the stateless protocols. Okay, so let me, you can go through this one. I just given some examples that what would happen, that it would be having different states. Okay, so now we'll see that what is the rest. So many times you will see this diagram, Apache Sling script resolution. Okay, so before going to this diagram and before going to actual implementation, that what are the different examples, let's see that what a URL consists of. Okay, so I am taking one example like this one. Suppose this is my URL. Let me just copy this URL. Okay, so let's suppose this is one URL. Okay, so this is getting breakdown in different like parts. Okay, so till the first slash. Okay, so this and till extension or okay, let me just show you here only. Okay, so whenever you hit any request, okay, what happens? It goes breakdown in different parts. Okay, so till the first slash after my invoking environment or after like whatever the domain I have, domain and port, it would be considering the path till the extension. Okay, when I say extension, this is extension HTML, this is selector. Okay, this is suffix. After the extension, if there is any slash, then it would be considering this as suffix, and these are my parameters, query parameters. Okay, so this is a typical breakdown of any URL. Okay, so in AEM what happens that first this URL gets breakdown. So whenever it founds the first slash till the extension. Okay, suppose there is no selector. Okay, so this is considered as a path. Okay, so now path would be this one. Suppose there are some selector ABC, so it will be first checking whether there is any selector present. If there is any selector, then it takes this path only. Okay, then the selector would be ABC. It will search after the path and before the extension. Is there any any string present with the dot annotation? Then it will find the selector. Extension, anyways, it will found HTML. If it is a valid URL, then it should be HTML, JSON, or XML. Okay, as we seen that there are three representation of that REST: HTML, XML, and JSON. We'll see that how we can control these representation. I have mentioned here. Okay, that we are having one service. I will talk it about later on that how you can manage those renderers. Okay, so let's forget about this for the time being. Then after the extension, if it find any slash, then it consider this as suffix. Okay, and then the URL parameters if there is any question mark. So this is a breakdown of any URL, and this is done by the script that Sling script resolution. The first step is to identify what is selector, what is my path, and what is extension. Is there any suffix or is there any query parameter? Okay, as I mentioned that Apache Sling is a web framework which works or which comes with AEM in form of bundles. Okay, so what happens internally that whenever you hit any URL, okay, definitely it will be going to some framework internally. Okay, it will be checking that what is the renderer. Okay, so there are some default servlets. Okay, so let me just go to one first config manager. just search with Apache Sling get served. So now here you see Apache Sling many. So Sling frameworks also comes in form of bundles. So that is nothing like it comes in form of some jar or something. Everything would be in the bundles. Okay, just open this configuration Apache Sling get servlet. Okay, so what happens when you like hit any URL? Okay, so it comes default servlets. Okay, when I say some default servlets, that is the first servlet which will get invoked when you hit any URL. That is an implementation of, okay, that if you hit this URL, this one slash content slash hero site, it will automatically invoking one Apache Sling get servlet. Okay, it will check the renderers. Okay, when I say renderers, there are three renderers: HTML, JSON, and XML. Okay, so if you don't want any JSON representation, when I say JSON representation, let's see what is JSON. If I write here JSON, so it should be giving me the JSON. Okay, if I write here XML, then if it is having XML format, then it will be giving me the XML. Like if I write here welcome and .xml, again this is a request. Okay, so there is no, because I haven't enabled the XML. So you can control using this enable XML. Okay, let me just go back again. So that's why it is giving me the JSON and HTML outputs. Okay, HTML. Now if you want to know more about this Apache Sling get servlet, okay, that how really it works, then you can go to this link. I have provided one link over there. The GitHub Apache, these are the internals. Okay, so you just follow this link, default get servlet. So for every URL, this will be invoking to render the things. My AEM got stopped. Okay, let me just restart quickly. Okay, so this is the code for that servlet, up default get servlet. Okay, so you can find the different renders here. Okay, like default render servlet here, JSON, XML, and HTML, and plain text. So if you are curious to know about more about this servlet, you can go to this URL and can see that what is the implementation of that Sling servlet. So the main thing was that whenever we hit any URL, it go to the Apache get servlet, it check the renders. If it finds that HTML render is there, you have enabled it. By default, it will be enabled. Okay, so it will go to the now next step. When I say next step, first it will break down, and second thing, it will go to this step, content resolution. When I say content resolution, it will, because in the first step it has divided the path in different methods, path, selector, extension, suffix, and query parameters. So it will pick the path. Okay, so now from my request, Sling API will pick this path. Okay, just pick this path. Let me just check whether it got opened. So let me just start my instance. Okay, for the time being, because I haven't refreshed it, so it should work. Okay, so it will go to this path slash content slash hero site. Okay, so that is second step. Now in second step, what it search for resource type. Okay, it see whether it is having any resource type or not. When I let me just okay, so now it should find. Okay, so when Sling comes to this path slash content slash hero site, as I mentioned that for every page it would be like recognized by JCR content. So when I say slash content slash hero site, I say this node slash content slash hero site JCR content. That is a rule. Okay, in JCR content it finds the resource type. Okay, so what is this resource type? This is the path of my page component. Okay, Sling colon resource type. Sling will see whether there is any resource type present or not. There should be always a resource type. Okay, there will always be resource type. Okay, in this third step, it will find the resource type. Okay, this one. It will just take this resource type, will traverse this path. Okay, let's traverse this path. What I created. Heroes. Yeah, it will go to this path. Okay, this is my page component, this path, resource type, and then it finds the script. Okay, so there are different things for the script resolution. So like I'm not covering that thing. Like whenever it found the resource type, it go to that component and it renders the thing. Okay, now my Sling comes to this one, and it whatever present on my component on my paragraph system, it will render on my page. Okay, that is the very first step that my Sling does. But there are some rules like this one. Okay, so we haven't discussed about this one. So guys, we will talk about it tomorrow because that is a very important step, that how Sling like resolve the like different JSPs, HTML, and different okay, so we'll talk about it later on, like tomorrow. I'll be just forwarding this this PPT to you. You just try that whatever I have mentioned here, like how it will be like resolving the scripts and JSP files. You just take a look on this PDF file, and we'll talk more about this Apache Sling tomorrow, and then we'll see that how we can integrate some design in the global components. We'll try to create one simple banner component. Then we'll move to the touch UI. Okay. So any query, guys? Then we are good to wrap it up.
Nothing from my end, Vipin.
Okay. Okay. So like if we are not having any query, then we can wrap it up, and we'll see all these things. Okay.
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 Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Vipin.
Yeah. Thank you.